Hi, this is PR Sundar. Welcome to this special episode. I'm going to talk about the Vauld, and it was too late, and that is because my son has gone out of India, so he has to come and he has to vet all the documents. So the first thing, my first reply to the followers and actual investors who have invested. Number one, what has happened? And what banks do, they take deposits from the depositors and they lend the money to the business people. Say for example, HDFC, they take money from the public deposits and then they lend the money to houses, to buy houses. When they take the deposits, they take 1 year, 2 year, 3 year terms. When they lend the money, they lend for 5 year, 10 year, 20 year like that. Suppose, assume that there is some problem and all the depositors get panic. In one day, everybody want to go and give me my money. But the money lent to buying houses, they cannot ask them to pay the money immediately. So this is the biggest risk any financial institutions has. I remember once upon a time, there was some rumor about ICICI Bank also, and everybody went to withdraw money. And then we had Global Trust Bank, so we had many things like that. So what has happened in the crypto world, and some people have taken the deposit from us and they lend it to other people. And because of a huge crash in crypto prices, the people who have taken the loan, they were not able to repay. And at some point of time, they filed for bankruptcy. There's a company called 3 Arrow Capital, and with I think more than 10 billion worth of funds, and they filed for bankruptcy. And whoever lent the cryptos to them, so they are in trouble now. And there was another problem, one stable coin, a stable coin means it is supposed to trade at $1, but for one other reason it traded at 1 cent. So because of all this, so there is a sudden influx, people get a panic, so they want to withdraw at one point of time, but whereas the lent, no, they cannot recover immediately. So this is how a financial institutions fail. And what has happened? Vauld, they applied to the court, a Singapore court, because Vauld is a Singapore registered company. So they have applied to the Singapore court and saying that we have this problem and we want 1 month moratorium. So which means that for 1 month and nobody can withdraw funds from their company and nobody can deposit the fund. Of course, nobody is going to deposit. Who is going to deposit? So this is a legal procedure, and I hope every investor got a mail from Vauld also and what is happening. And what happens, the court has given them 1 month time, and that may even be extended. At the end of 1 month, they can go back to the court, they can explain, so we are still in problem, we want another 1 month or 2 months and something like that. So that is the reason why people cannot withdraw money from the Vauld. And number one, many trollers, they've been saying, you promoted a fraud company, you promoted a fraud company. Mahatma Gandhi was father of our nation because we got the independence. If you have not got independence, and Mahatma Gandhi was a criminal as per British. So the point here is that there's a small poem I read. If riot is successful, it is called a revolution. If a revolution fails, it is called riot. So the people only look at the outcome. And how can some people say it is a fraud? I invested my money in Reliance Infrastructure when it was trading around 3,000 rupees, now trading at 30 rupees. So can I say Anil Ambani is a fraud? There is a difference between fraud and a business failure. And if it is a fraud, what is a fraud? By some unfair means, people take away your money, run away. That is called a fraud. And people invested in stock market. And how many stocks we have invested? And how much money we have lost? Do we call them as fraud? And remember, Vauld is a Singapore registered company. If any of you come out with a clear reason, yes, this is the reason why this is a fraud, I will assure you, I will file a police case in Singapore. So what happened to the BMC, I think PMC or BMC bank in cooperative bank in Mumbai? Can you say fraud? So please understand the big difference between the business failure and a fraud. If somebody taking away your money without knowing you, that is fraud. But they lend the money, they have the records. The people who have taken the loan, they have defaulted and they file for bankruptcy. So I can understand your feeling that you have invested some money and you lost it. And it's not only you, I also invested. I came out with a video that I have invested 24 lakh rupees and now I am also in trouble. But it doesn't mean that, all those who are giving you the money, they are not good people. All those who are not giving, they are not frauds. That's why once I came out with a social media post, okay, you give your money to a company, that company make 2000 crore and 1000 crore is taken away by the promoter by unfair means, remaining 1000 crore he give it to the shareholder, that is a fraud. And because your money is 2000 crore, it's not 1000 crore, that 1000 crore is taken away, right? Another business genuinely failed, they are not able to repay, then that is not fraud. And I can tell you, please listen, my followers and those people who have invested, okay, and there is a gang, I can tell you, they cannot digest the success of many people, top YouTubers in India especially, and these are the small YouTubers, they did not get any advertisement revenue and we all got, they are so jealous of us and they create all these images, you fraud. And fraud is very simple. You just go and make a police complaint. So can you go and make a police complaint against Anil Ambani? I invested at 3,000 rupees, now 30 rupees. Therefore, Anil Ambani is a fraud? No. So you know what is right and what is wrong. And moreover, and we have mentioned many times that cryptos are risky investments and therefore don't invest more than 5 to 10% of your net worth. And not only me, all the top YouTubers have recommended the same thing. And some people, I can tell you, they might not have even invested 1 rupee, come to the social media say, I invested the entire my wealth in crypto and because of you, now I lost everything. I trusted you. You trusted me, right? Okay. Transfer the remaining money to my bank account. I hope you all have received the mail from Vauld and I also have the same source of information only. So somewhere in the mail it is mentioned that their net worth is 320 million asset, but liability is about 400 million. So which means that even tomorrow the court takes over the case and disposes all the assets, distribute to the shareholders. Okay, we are likely to get 75% of our money. We have 320 million and 400 million, so proportionally it is about 75%. And however, the Vauld has been trying their best to find some solution, and there's another company called Saxo which is planning to buy Vauld, and they are actually doing the due diligence and things are going. As per latest also I received another mail, so there is some court hearing in Singapore. And they say, if you want to watch it live, you can fill the form, you will be allowed to watch that live. And what is happening in the company, so they are being so transparent. And how can you say there's a fraud? Fraud is somebody taking away your money, running away without telling you where he is. And the Vauld people, they are still communicating with you. Right? So, why I promoted Vauld? The first simple reason that, I wanted to support Indians. So, Indians promoted company, Vauld. And also I felt the platform was very, very good. We just don't promote anybody for the sake of getting money. And we ourselves must get convinced. And in fact, many of my long-term followers will know that I was not in favor of crypto for a long time. At some point of time, I changed my mind. Even I put it in a FOMO effect, fear of missing out effect. Then I became a fan and then I did it. At least 1 dozen people have approached us for promotion. In fact, the most of the mails that we get is for promoting crypto related things only. But we have not done except Vauld and Delta Exchange. We were very, very transparent. And even while the CEO Darshan Batija came, I had an interview with him. I asked all kinds of questions and I asked about the risk factor. So the risk was explained by Darshan himself. So you can watch that clip here.
In the crypto world, there are centralized platforms that you take this counterparty risk for. We are one of them. And additionally, there is no NSDL equivalent in the crypto world right now. Every single centralized exchange in the world, unfortunately, you do take counterparty risk. That is part of the centralized financial world that we live in today.
I even asked Darshan whether a crypto platform can misuse our funds. Because I heard somewhere, some people actually did the hacking and stole some of the cryptocurrencies those days, So I'm asked then, so then he explained about cold storage, hot storage and that kind of things. So you can watch this clip to know more about it. What I understand in simple terms, so if I buy through vault.com, so I can go and check whether my currencies are there or not by logging into vault.com.
Correct.
But there is no other independent body where
Correct.
I can verify this.
Correct.
And this is not only true for vault.com, I think it's true for every crypto exchange in the world.
It's true for every single crypto exchange in the world.
Yeah. Okay. Now, my question is, can the crypto exchanges misuse these funds for their own benefit?
Unfortunately, there's been a very clear track record that companies have been misusing these funds. So if you look at the history of cryptocurrencies, people tend to focus on the pros a lot because there are many, but the thing that tends to get swept under is that there's not enough accountability on these platforms to show where the funds are and what the funds are utilized for, because these are customer deposits after all. This is somebody's lifelong savings. And a clear way to identify a good actor versus a potential bad actor is understand where they're registered and regulated. Thankfully, in the last 4 or 5 years, many countries have come out with positive regulation towards cryptocurrencies. Singapore being a classic example.
Clearly, we have told there is a proverb in English, don't put all the eggs in one basket. So if you have got 5 crore, you don't go and put all the 5 crore in equity market. Put 1 crore in real estate, 1 crore in gold, 1 crore in bank FD, 1 crore in equity. Like that you have to diversify. So how can you say, I put all my money in Vault? Then why you put all your money in Vault? Next time you come and give it to me all your money. Right? So these, I can tell you, these are clearly are trollers. So if you are an investor, and I'm sure you should not have invested more than 10-20% of your net worth, and that also you are not, it's not going to be all the way zero. At least you can expect at least 75-80% recovery. Of course, it may take some time, right? So, I always tell one thing, okay, if you want to achieve something really very big in your life, you need certain qualities. What is that certain qualities? Whatever action you are taking, you must take responsibility for that. I invest, I make money, then it is my skill. If I invest, if I lose, then I blame PR Sundar. I trusted you, that's why I invested. So at the end of the day, it is your money, your responsibility, your risk, your reward, and you have to study things. This is one case, it's an unfortunate thing has happened. So let us hope some amicable solution is found as soon as possible. So I think in a matter of 1 month or 2 months, we can get some kind of clarity. So I sincerely hope all of us will get back our money. So hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you for watching.